Hi, it's Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com. Update video on the xBrat stocks Predator. So the beta group is starting to grow and we've still got spaces, so please check out the link below this video and don't miss out. So one of the questions was, can we get the ability with the new master watch list to add stocks to that? We can now. Down in this little box here we can click in, type Tesla and add it to our watch list. So when we go and look at the charts in a minute, you'll see we'll be able to click on that and look at Tesla as well, do some technical analysis. So let's go to those charts. I'm just going to run the unusual options activity scanner as well while we do that, so then we can look at those charts. And again, we've just added Tesla to the chart, to the master watch list, so that's actually loaded up on the charts there. You see that. We've just got to wait for the scanner to populate, and we'll look at that in a minute. So some of the changes to the charts, again, this is some of the updates here, is that we've added more indicators. Now, you won't see all of the indicators if you've got a free version of TradingView. So I'm going to log in to my TradingView account right now. So I'm logged in. Okay, so now you'll see more. The thing we're using the TradingView plugin, but we're actually taking it right to the limit. So we're using our proprietary trading indicators, but with a free account, and that's fine. You will only be able to see 3. But you can see now on the 4 hour, if I go large on this particular screen, we have the manager, the xBrat algo, but also now the roller coaster, and then the buyer step heat map. So that's 4. So you would need a pro or a pro plus account, but it's well worth it because you're going to be able to see a lot more technical indicators on each chart. If we go now, because we've added the roller coaster, we go now to the daily, you can see that we've added the auto harmonics as well. So these are really crucial type of chart patterns that we can identify automatically to give people a good idea of when things are going to turn around. When a D pivot finishes, it does turn around quite a bit. Again, when you've got one of when you've got an account with TradingView as well, you can look at Tesla in the stock screener here. And some of the information here, performances, dividends, income statements, or there's a lot of information that we can use on this chart set, as well as the scanners that we've got here. So if I just minimize that and go back, so what we've added on the weekly really is nothing for now. We just want to make sure we are just with the xBrat algos. So to the daily, we've added the harmonics as well as the xBrat algo. 30-minute at the moment, we've still just got the VWAP Predator, and here we are considering looking at day trading time frames as well, just with sort of day trading type technical indicators, but that will come in the future. But again, if you're part of that beta test group, you will get access to everything before we launch it properly for subscription. So that's adding it to adding a stock to look at on the watch list here. Again, when we're looking at the results for the unusual options activity, we can filter, look at this high victory rate here on CCL. Interesting here, CCL, we have really got to look at this. We've had 3 lots of options activity here on different days. We started with a strike price of 21 with an expiration of the 23rd of June. And then the next day we had another strike price of 21, but options expiration in the middle of July. But now we've got a lot of volume coming in with a strike price of 26, so a target price of 26 for the middle of August. This is something we really need to do. So what I'm going to do is just right click on there and add to my watch list, because I want to keep an eye on this, because that interests me quite a bit. I can then click on there and we can change the charts to CCL and start doing some work. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to look at the bigger picture. So look at the weekly here. We're going to look where that strike price is. Have we tested it before? Absolutely. We've tested 31.66 recently on that pivot in May 2021. I actually look at this when I see this pivot here, here, and here. We can see we've got a zone forming between around about 24, just over $24 to around about $27. So this is why that strike price of 26 works very well. Institutional traders have seen that there's multiple tests here. Yes, we came back through, but then when we came back down again, we came to test that zone again, we came down, we tested that zone again. So realistically, that's where, if we're gonna get a lot of calls here with options, that 26 strike price does seem reasonable. Now, what we have as well is real big, we've got earnings coming up, so they're hedging with earnings. The 26th of June earnings are coming up, but we do have a really good bullish move here, and with the manager we can see last week's price action was big, but also it had higher than average volume, and it was almost a full candle as well, and it had more volume than the previous candle, which that previous week had also more volume than the previous week as well. So we're getting some good momentum going into earnings, and a good earnings play here would actually be to buy or to put an order in above there. The danger is, and this is why a lot of options traders will buy those calls now before earnings. If you're trading physical stock, the danger is if it's a really good earnings, it could actually gap up above your entry and you wouldn't get taken in. So again, when we're using the stocks predator, there's those things to consider. Also, options traders, we can see some it's unusual options activity now. We can see on the 15th of June, and now the 20th of June. So there's a lot of bullish sentiment with this next earnings. So we've got to take note of that and figure out how we are going to approach this. So if we're approaching it with physical stock, we'd need a technical indication that would give us confidence that we're going to go long here with earnings. We've got to look again on the daily chart. Is probably the best thing to do is look at the reaction over the last sort of year for earnings. We can see we did have these negative earning reactions for quite a while. We can see over the last 2 or 3 years it's not performed very, very well, but we are starting to come out of that now. We're getting 5-6 star buys technically here. The last 2 earnings have been good earnings, and there's been a really great reaction. So things are turning around for this company. I think this is why institutional traders, there's a lot of volume with this unusual options activity, in that they think this thing is going to fly with earnings. Again, the last 2 good earnings that have had, the positive reaction has been very dramatic in the markets, and I would say that strike price of 26 is quite achievable there, because I think the company's turned itself around. It had really poor earnings for quite a couple of years, and then this year it's turned it around, and this sort of momentum usually continues, especially if there's good management within the company. So for me, this is why this has gone on the watch list. The date today is the 22nd of June, so I've got a bit more time to do a little bit more work to figure out what's going off here with CCL. I can use a stock screener here as well. For CCL, I can type in CCL here. Okay, so Carnival Corporation, and we can start to do a little bit more due diligence in here. One of the things we are going to be adding is short float stocks as scanner as well. That's something that we're working on right now. We're actually going to be put a scanner in for some of the technical indicators as well. They're in the pipeline. They're being worked on right now. We can look at valuations. Look at extended hours trading. There's lots of information that we can start to pull out. We can even see on insider trading if when we look at the recent scan, or we can actually look back over the last, say, 3 months, if there's been any sort of insider activity as well. So we'll let that scan run. We'll go to the results here, and we're really looking for buys. It may not have had a lot of insider trading right now, but when we can filter this out and we can take a quick look. So one of the things that we are looking to develop is on the watch list, we're going to extend this out. So PRGO, for example, is one that I'm keeping an eye on because there was a lot of insider activity there. Now, as we start to build the scanners, and when you switch the dashboard on each day and you run all of the scans, for example, if CCL, we found that in unusual options activity, so there'll be like a little green traffic light there. Now, when you run the scans for insider activity, for example, and CCL appears in that data, the next column along for insider activity, all of a sudden there'll be a green traffic light in there as well. And then obviously when we run in the harmonics, the xBrat algo, roller coaster, that sort of thing, if those start to appear, the CCL starts to appear in those will light up as well. So that confluence of different types of technical indicators on strategies, and then that fundamental data and that unusual options activity, all of a sudden you've got to really take notice of that stock, and that'll be a really cool upgrade that we'll be doing reasonably soon. So again, lots and lots of information coming out with these scans, but really what I wanted to do is I just picked on one stock today. Okay, I picked on CCL. I wanted to show you the upgrades with the charting that we've done, but also with the ability to add symbols to the main watch list now for stocks that you may be watching. And again, when we start to bring in those updates of those confluence type traffic light signals with all the different scans, and you've added your own particular stock that you like to keep an eye on and like to trade, all of a sudden if that comes in the unusual options activity and you get some xBrat algo signals as well, that will appear every time you switch on the dashboard and run all those scans. So again, you can take opportunity now to get on board with the beta testing group. So it's $2,000 for life, okay? When we release this, it will be $250 a month base. If you want to add harmonics, it'll be an extra $50. If you want to add Elliott Wave, an extra $50 a month. So to get into this right now, help us develop this to be the hottest stocks dashboard out there for US stocks trading and investing. It's a very small investment because this is for life, and you will get everything, all the bells and whistles, all the technical indicators, all the technical scanners, and everything, and you'll be involved in this development process over the next 6 to 8 months. Already we've got an amazing tool that works very well, but we want to make it a real rock star. So check out that link below, get involved, and we'll be doing some live sessions after the summer as well, because part of that beta testing group now is to understand people's abilities and how I can formulate some good sort of training boot camps to help people navigate and identify those confluence between fundamental and technical. So check out the links below. Hopefully this has helped. Speak to you all really soon.